Welcome back everyone, Mike McConville here again for StringTech. So I'm putting this double Yamaha video together for Dave, one of my tier 3 Patreon guys who's a bit of a aficionado on Yamaha guitars dating back to the 60s. So I have not touched either of these guitars, and I'm going to kind of do them in tandem. The whole compensated nut and saddle. I did one just a couple of weeks ago for another customer, but I thought while I had the two of these here, I would take the opportunity to go through this whole calibration process A to Z. I'm bringing you in to show you this because it's another example of Yamaha just making too much sense. Here we go, two AA batteries. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the 9-volt has been the bane of my existence. This just makes perfect sense, and look at how quick the change is. Spring mounted, there you go. Thank you, Yamaha. These are the steps that I went through. This was the first reading. We're talking about the fretted 7th fret note and its corresponding octave 19th fret. And these were the values all the way across. This is original saddle before I touched anything. That was the first reading. This was the second reading. This was the third reading. You can see I'm getting in a little closer. I've got 3 out of 6 strings are actually in tune now. This is the fourth reading. We were just left with the D and B strings being sharp, and this is our 5th and final reading. So now the guitar is calibrated from the 7th fret to the 19th fret. After the saddle was done, we went to the 12th fret fretted note and the open string, and these were the values of the original nut all the way across. So I taped that strip of brass across the leading edge of the nut and then intonated all 6 strings. So now the fretted 12th fret note and the open string were in tune. Lastly, I filed out the 2nd string to reduce the height so that the open string and 1st fret notes were in tune. I adjusted the truss rod, backed it off, because when I took the string tension off, it went into a little bit of a back bow. So I loosened that truss rod off till I got the neck dead straight and very lightly breezed over the top end at the neck to body junction, and then lightly leveled, recrowned, and polished. After very lightly leveling that neck to body junction, I switched over to 400 grit, stepped it up to 600, 800, and then final buff to get these frets where they are now. So we're finally ready to put the brand new set of strings on, and we'll try that tuning test again. You can see how far back I had to come on that original saddle to get this to line up. I did open up those slots a little bit to increase the tension at the focal point on the saddle all the way across. So the other thing you have to be very careful about when you have this type of a system in the guitar is to mask off the sound hole when you're doing all your fret work, because as you can see, all of the electronics inside are wide open. You do not want to get any fret filings in there, and that's why that sound hole needs to be masked off 100%. Here we go. A string, D, the 3rd string. Second string. And the first string. Now we'll play some chords. Now the other thing that's surprising is, if you remember the other guitar, all of the values for the compensated nut were cantilevered past the end of the fingerboard. I think the low E string was good, but the rest of them, they were all positive values. Well, this nut is all negative values. Same scale length, same strings. I just found that kind of interesting. The next set into the body is going to be slightly different. That's why I mentioned so many times this is a moving target. You don't want to take anything for granted. String to string, fret to fret. This guitar too plays perfectly in tune. So this is kind of a D minor progression that I looped.